Welcome to Salt Lake City, Utah, home of the Mormon pioneers. Today we're going to take a tour of Salt Lake City, Utah, show you the shopping, the dining, the living, everything that comes with living, playing, and enjoying Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City has a population of 200,000 people and was established as a territory in 1847 and became a state in 1896. So Salt Lake itself was established before it even became a state. Some unique things about Salt Lake City is the grid pattern of the streets. The city blocks are big and large, and so you have a lot of ability to drive down. Parking is a little tricky. As the biggest metro in the state, you are going to have issues finding parking. You're going to end up paying for parking. So when you are shopping for a property, make sure it comes with parking, because even though it is our most walkable city, it still is going to take you quite a bit to walk and live and dine in Salt Lake City. When it comes to dining and shopping, Salt Lake City has it all, because really that is what Salt Lake City is all about. Some of my favorite places are here where we're standing, which is the City Creek Mall. It has tons of parking and it has all of the shops. It has a bunch of high-end shops. It's the best type of mall, and it's really cool because it's an indoor-outdoor mall. So in the winter, the roof covers and you can still walk through and enjoy the open river and the greenery. And in the summer, it opens up and you get to enjoy the sunlight. When it comes to grocery shopping, you have a lot of options. Here, we're outside of the downtown Harmon's location. You have a Trader Joe's close by, and one of the few Whole Foods in Salt Lake County is just a couple miles away. You will have to get in your car to go to Whole Foods from here, but let's go check out some of the housing a little further out. Now let's talk about housing in Salt Lake City. So the great thing about Salt Lake is you have everything. You have starter homes up to multi-million-dollar homes. But what is going to be the most common or entry-level pricing for each one? So if we're talking about condos, we're going to start about $300,000 for a 2-bed, 1-bath built in the 1970s, 1980s style condo. Next, townhomes are going to start at about $300,000, and you'll have the wide variety from the 60s and newer. And then homes is the fun part, because in Salt Lake, because it is where Utah was established, we have every range of homes. So currently the oldest home on the market was built in 1875, which for Utah is really old considering the main population got here in 1846. So older than the state currently for sale. And the most expensive home right now in Salt Lake City is $7.5 million, and it is in the Federal Heights subdivision of Salt Lake. It has 10,000 square feet, 8 beds, 5 bathrooms, and beautiful valley views. So the typical single family home that you're going to buy in Salt Lake City is going to cost you about $600,000 for the entry level pricing. Now Salt Lake is really long and wide, and we have a more affordable area of Salt Lake City called Rose Park neighborhoods. Those homes actually are in the $400,000 range. They were built around the 1950s. They're fairly small lots and they're closer together, and the further east you get, the more expensive it gets. So this home that we're standing in right now is a $1 million home. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and was beautifully restored, and it was built in 1928. So come check it out. So one of my favorite things about this particular house is the renovation work was amazing. They did the effort to go from the studs in on the renovation. So they took out the wall, they redid electrical and plumbing, and really brought the home back to its history and its vibrance. It wasn't just a quick flip, it was a beautiful renovation. When it comes to housing in Salt Lake City, you have all varieties. You have trailers up to $1 million homes. Currently, I'm standing in front of the most expensive condo listed in Salt Lake City right now. It is listed for $2.5 million. Has 2 bedrooms, 2,000 square feet, and has an amazing view of the Salt Lake City Temple. The Salt Lake City Temple is a historic monument for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And as you can see, it is currently under construction to make it more earthquake-proof, because it was built so long ago. It was built with different building standards. So it's been under construction for a few years, and it has a few more years to go. But when the scaffolding is removed, it is a beautiful building. We are standing in the entertainment district of Salt Lake City, and it has everything you need. We have a major basketball team called the Utah Jazz, and recently the National Hockey League, a new team has just moved to Salt Lake. It hasn't even been named yet, but it will also be in the Delta Center, which is just a block down from where we're standing. Right now I'm standing in front of a Bravenel Hall where we host concerts and orchestra and really anything music related. Just next to us is the Salt Palace, where we have all kind of conventions and connections, great parking, and you can come together. One of my son's favorite activities here is the Fan X Comic Con, where you come and have people get dressed up and everything nerdy. So we come up every year for that. We also have the Eccles Theater, which is where we get Broadway plays from Broadway. So when they start touring, the Eccles Theaters here in Salt Lake City is where those are hosted. So everything really within a half mile you can get to for entertainment. So we've talked about some of the events to do in downtown, but let's talk about stuff the kids can do here in Salt Lake City. So right now we are standing in Liberty Park, which is home to the Tracy Aviary. It also has a pool, and it is acres and acres big. So it's huge. It's kind of like a little Central Park. It has running trails around the exterior. It has fun activities and farmers markets, and there's also a farmers market every Saturday during the summer at Pioneer Park, just downtown. Other fun stuff for the kids to do, we have the Utah Hogle Zoo just up the road from here, which has all kinds of exhibits and animals and really has been invested into. And there's also a playground in here and a Ferris wheel for your kids. We also have the Utah State Fair Park, which falls into Salt Lake City's boundaries, and they always host the State Fair and carnivals, and they have concerts at the State Fair Park. So there's a lot of activities and fun things to do in Salt Lake City. The best part about Salt Lake is there are tons of things to do. Like at this point, I'm gonna have to do multiple videos to get everything encompassed, but I wanna share some of my favorites. So one of our favorite family traditions is to jump on the Front Runners train and come up to downtown Salt Lake. One, my kids love the train, and two, here in downtown, they do fantastic Christmas lights. And this whole area is going to be decorated to the nines with Christmas lights, a live nativity, great activity for the kids, fun caroling, hot cocoa, carriage rides around the square, a lot to do at Christmas time. So when it comes to getting around downtown, you have a lot of options. You have buses, you have the Front Runner Trax line, and you have Trax, which is free around downtown. Check the portal to make sure that it's free when you're going, but this allows you to get anywhere within downtown and with the entertainment district by just jumping on the Trax line and going upstream. It also allows you to get to the Salt Lake City Airport. The Salt Lake City International Airport is about a 12-minute drive from downtown, or if you jump on Trax, you can get there within about 10 minutes, and it drops you off right at the airport. So Salt Lake City is located in the Salt Lake School District, which has an A- rating off of niche.com. Now, the interesting thing when it comes to schools is, again, it's a very east to west situation. So the further east you get, the better the rating of the schools. The further west you get, the lower it gets, and the lowest rating is a C. When you are house shopping, it is very much a street by street situation on the school ratings and also the value. Because Salt Lake City was developed before the 1950s, some of the basements are not a usual standard height. We still count square footage in the basement if it's 6 feet or higher, but that doesn't necessarily make it the same usable space that you'd find in other homes. So values in Salt Lake City with square footage change drastically based off of the usage of the house. So when you're shopping, be very aware of that, and really getting a neighborhood expert to guide you through this makes a big difference, because if you're on the wrong side of the street, your home is worth $100,000 less than the homes directly across the street. Hi, I'm Becca Summers with Seasons Real Estate. If you have further questions or want to know more, reach out. We help people relocate to Utah all the time.